Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and if you hear any noise in the background, it's me cat. She's decided to join me. Do you want to have a see? Do you want to have a see of me cat? Hang on, can I turn this camera around? There she is. Look, can you see her just behind there? Look, what's she looking at? She's up to no good. That's what she's doing. Anyway, where were we? Right, that way a bit. There we go. There we go. So anyway, as you can see behind me, not behind me, but up there, it's Andor Day, and we're on episode 5, The Axe Forgets. Another not very exciting episode, I must admit, but I did enjoy it. It's a lot of world building going on, and I've said before that I'm not sure if it felt like Star Wars. I'm starting to feel this is like new Star Wars, if you know what I mean. I don't know. So anyway, let's hit the intro and we'll get on with it, eh? Right, so episode 5, The Axe Forgets, and we have the usual, there we are, there's Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen Rail. This is the previously on, so we don't need to see that, do we? We've seen all the previously ons. That's Cyril, he's called. I've heard it pronounced. I was saying Cyril, because I thought, nice one, Cyril. But it's called Cyril Khan, getting fired, basically. But then, where are we? Yeah, that's it. We're still on the, there we go. Now we go to the Lucasfilm logos, and there's the faces. There's no new ones, and then the Andor logo, which takes, I think I counted it, something like 25 seconds to come on, which is an age, innit, for something like that. For one word, anyway. Right, so we cut to the action, and here's Cyril Khan at his mother's house, which I think is on Coruscant, but I'm not entirely certain. It could be Morlana, but I think it might be Coruscant. It doesn't make it entirely clear. It looks like Coruscant. So he's there, and he's not very happy. He's mooning to himself. So he's having his breakfast. Well, he's not, because his mother's not given it to him yet. She gives him some, cheery puff sort of things, some breakfast cereals with blue milk, of course. So he's feeling sorry for himself, and this is all he does this episode. It's pointless. This Cyril Khan part here with his mother, it's pointless. Later on, she says she's going to get in touch with their uncle, somebody or other, and he's gonna fix him up with a job. I get the feeling this uncle is important. He might be an imperial uncle, maybe. I don't know. But that's it. And we visit him 2 or 3. Behave. Sorry, princess, being naughty. She's heard me talking. She knows I'm up to something. So, look, she's got the kitchen now. Opening all the doors. What's she like? I don't know. I'll not edit this out. Where was I? Yeah, so I think his uncle might be important. I don't know in what way. I suspect he might be imperial, but I'm not entirely sure. And his mother has a funny way of talking to him, as though they're a strict family sort of thing, She expected more of him, I think. But anyway, so that's that part. And we come back to him a few times. His mother's called Edie, by the way. And last week, when we first saw her, she kind of had a Cockney accent, I think. It sounded like, but here she's now got more of a, mid-Atlantic accent, with a pronounced R's. But I don't know. Here he is, feeling sorry for himself. Still, blah, blah, blah. That is quite a boring bit, I must admit. But it's world building. We see in the inside of her apartment, and I suppose you could say it's world building. Some people might say it's boring. Seeing how some people live. Here's Andor. He's in a hammock on. I can't remember the name of the planet. Hang on. I'll look it up. It was the name of last week's episode. Aldani. That's it. The name of the planet is Aldani. So he's in a hammock there, and then he notices his stuff's gone. Some people are asleep. Some people aren't. So he notices his stuff's gone. So he goes outside, there he goes running, and we see that character. We're told their names again, but I forgot. I'll see if I can find them in this this list of characters. Who we got? Right, we've got Cinta. That's a woman. Vel and Cinta are women. We've got Nernick, which I don't think that's him. We've got Lieutenant Gorn, Skeen. I think that might be Skeen. And we've got Taramin. I definitely know who Taramin is. Yes, it's Skeen. Because good old Wikipedia just showed me a picture of him without clicking on anything. Isn't technology wonderful? Yes, this is Skeen. And he's going through Andor stuff. They call him Clem, by the way. Don't forget. He's going under an assumed name. I don't know why. Because he's not exactly... Well, I suppose he is famous, isn't he? Because they're looking for Cassian Andor as the Empire, aren't they? So, yeah. So that's why he's going under an assumed name. So it says, Vel told him to go through his stuff to make sure everything's okay. So he just asked him some questions about it, where he got the blaster, and he says, he didn't get a name. And then we look at he's got some tattoos on his body, and we'll find out about a couple of them. It'll show us in a moment. That one there, that's, I don't know, but that's, I think that's some sort of prison code or something like that. And that one on his arm is to do with the hand, which I think is that some like criminal group? I think it might be. It rings a bell. There we go. Better picture of it. The hand. Because it looks like a hand. Oh, it also looks like a person with a big long tie going like that. But anyway. So that's that. So we know that Skeen is suspicious of Cassian, and that comes to a head later on, as we will see. And I still think he looks like David Bradley, who played Billy Casper in Kes. I still think he looks like him, but he's got an American accent in this. So. But is he American? Let's have a look. I don't know if he is or not. Yes, he's an American actor. There we go. It says there. Still looks like Billy Casper. You've no idea what I'm talking about, have you? Anyway. Right, so then we cut to Coruscant, and this is Mon Mothma's house. That's her husband, Perrin. Speaking of last week, I was on about Star Trek references. We've got Lieutenant Gorn, which is a Star Trek reference. There was somebody else, wasn't there? There was another name that had a Star Trekkie. Oh, Khan. But it's spelt differently, Cyril Khan. So Gorn and Khan, and now this is Perrin. Now this is a bit of a deep cut, because Perrin is the name of Sarek's second wife, who were also human, that we saw in Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, Sarek and Reunification, episode 1. Anyway, so we're at Mon Mothma's, I don't know if it's an apartment or a house or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's on Coruscant, and they're having breakfast, and it's all very palatial, and it's not austere, is it? Like what Cassian's got to put up with. This is very, very sumptuous. Anyway, so they have a bit of a family argument. Right, the daughter's there. Don't know her name. Mon Mothma's supposed to be taking her, I presume, to school. Supposed to be taking her to school, but she says, no, Dad's going to take me because I don't have to go in early. Must have a free period. Never had free periods when I was at school. You hear about it all the time these days. You went to school at 9 o'clock, you came home at 4. That's when I was at school. No free periods. Oof, crikey. Don't know they're born today. Sorry, I'm just doing the old from Old Yorkshire Geek. Anyway, so they have a fallout. So I think she's going with Daddy. So there's going to be a fallout there, isn't there? I think, is this going to build up to her leaving her family and joining the Rebel Alliance full time? I don't know. But they keep saying everybody knows what you do. So is this a hint that, it's like general knowledge sort of thing that she's up to something, with the rebellion maybe, I don't know, or like working against the Empire, I don't know. Or do they think she's having an affair? I think that might be. I think they might think she's having an affair with some bloke. But anyway, so let's just see, goes storming out. He mentions the driver's arrived, by the way, and he knows his name. But then he asks what the driver's name is later on for some weird reason. Anyway, oh, she's back again, look. So that's that little scene. As Genevieve O'Reilly, as Mon Mothma. Remember, she played her in Rogue One and also in a deleted scene in, I think, Revenge of the Sith. I think it was Revenge of the Sith. It wasn't Attack of the Clones, was it? No, it was Revenge of the Sith. But I think that scene got deleted. But it's in the extras on the DVDs and Blu-rays. Right, we're back on Aldani. So they're going about the business, washing, getting water, etc. Remember, they're pretending to be farmers. They've got some goats and stuff that have millions of horns because they're alien goats. So they're pretending to be farmers. Or goat herders. But they're not yodeling. Anyway, he's giving him some milk. I think it's the goat's milk. He says what it's called, and he says you get used to it and it won't kill you. But he don't like it. It looks like he's smiling there, but he grimaces, and then he throws it away in a bit, which I thought he shouldn't have really done that. And he wouldn't. I don't think he'd have done that, if it were a real life situation. Because remember, they're supposed to be living hand to mouth. And you don't throw away food and drink, do you? If you're living like that. But he does, he just throws it away. So that was a bit of a mistake in my book. But, it's not enough to spoil it, is it? It's just a little nitpick, you could say. So we're learning all about... I forgot his name now. I looked him up, I saw him, didn't I? Nemik. I think that's Nemik. Yes, it is. Yes, he's an English actor, by the way. Thanks, Wikipedia. He's telling him he's a true believer in the rebellion. He's a true political idealist, I suppose you could say, or a what's the word? He'd be cancelled anyway. This day and age, he'd be a conspiracy theorist. That's what he'd be these days. But he's against the empire, and he comes out with all this political jargon and stuff, anti-empire things. So he said that's why he's joined up. We find out later that Skeen joined because I think his brother got killed by the Empire, so that's basically it. So we learn that. And then Vel calls for Clem, remember he's called Clem, to go and check some stuff. Oh, I was looking at this is like some sort of navigation aid. And he says it's old, but... I forgot his name already. I'm useless. Nemik. There we go. Nemik says it's old, but it's it's the best sort of thing because you can fix it and you don't have to upgrade it and stuff. So it's basically a commentary on today's plugged in internet world where it's like disposable, isn't it? You get new things and they're upgraded for you, and if you don't accept the upgrade, it becomes obsolete and you can't use it anymore. And all that stuff, and you can't mend them because they're all enclosed, sealed units and stuff. So that's what he's saying about this. It's a good old clunky, chunky piece of technology that works, and that can be repaired, and it does the job. And that, in his other hand, is his book. He's writing a book, like his manifesto. Right, so Clem gets called away to see Vel in the hut, and they're talking about. I think Tamrin's there with her. I think this, who we can see there. I think that's Tamrin. She's asking him about the ship. Remember, they're going to steal the payroll for the entire sector, the quarterly payroll for this sector, Imperial sector, and. She's asking him about the weight of the ship, and it's launched on a rail, apparently. Never heard of that before, I don't know, but not in Star Wars anyway, but it's launched on a rail, so they need to know that he can work out how heavy the ship's going to be, so it'll, go on the track properly. So he's saying, you don't you know? And so he says, you've no idea how this works. So he explains it all. He knows, he knows how it operates. So he says he's going to fly it. If his ass is on the line, he's going to do the flying. So she says, all right, fair enough. Right, so here we go. So they do. This is them, pretending to be goat herders. And then I think a TIE fighter arrives in the distance. This is Tamrin. You see him there, pointing out they've placed things where there would be, in real life when they were doing the job, getting the payroll. So this pen, represents the facility, and then another thing in the distance represents this temple that they've to go to and all that. So everything's spaced out so they can practice, number of paces and things and what they're going to do. So he's showing him all this, and then I think a TIE fighter flies by. Oh, that might be a bit later. They're pointing out where the temple would be. Then we go to, this is Lieutenant Gorn. He's out with a couple of officers. Still not seen any stormtroopers, by the way. On episode 5, there's still no stormtroopers. They're showing them in the trailers, and they're showing clone troopers in the trailers, but we haven't seen them yet. But we've a while to go. We're not even halfway yet in this season. Anyway, so this is the temple outside the facility. That's the facility there in the background. It's a dam, basically. And this is the temple. And I think there's supposed to be some soldiers on duty there, or some officers on duty. And he finds like a dartboard. So he gets a bit cross and he says, "Get this cleaned up. I'll be back in an hour." Don't know where he's going, but so I'll be back in an hour. So that's showing that he's kind of in charge. He can give orders and stuff, and we see that again shortly. Right. As I said, it's not exactly action-packed. It's mostly people talking in this episode. So that's Clem talking with I forgot it, Tamarin. And they don't trust him. They don't trust him yet. So that's what that stern words were about. Right, we're on. This is Ferrix, isn't it? We're back on Ferrix now, and this is I can't remember his name. That officer, that him. It is. Does it say? Let's have a look. If it says what his name is, I don't know. Is the that rival in it to Dedramir, who we'll see in a moment, but I can't remember his name, and it's not telling us here. It's not telling us on Wikipedia what his name is. Do. Not that I can see. It's not him, is it? No, because I haven't got a picture for him. It could be. I don't know. It could be Sergeant Linus Mock. No, it isn't. No, we've seen him before, haven't we? We've seen him. No, that's not him. No. I don't know. It's him anyway. I should have all this worked out, shouldn't I? But I haven't. Anyway, see, the cleaning up. This is where the speeder exploded on Ferrix when Cassian and Luthen made their escape on the speeder bike, and he's overseeing that. And he's talking to another officer, and he's suggesting to him, this is the officer here, that the building behind him could be his headquarters, so that they're stamping an imperial presence on Ferrix. And he says, "I want to be called the prefect." And he says, "I don't care. You call yourself what you want, but you're in charge." So that's that. So the Empire is now on Ferrix. Right, back on Aldani. They're practicing being soldiers. Earlier on, you were asking, can you be a soldier? Can you stand up straight? Chest out, and all that, shoulders back. So they're practicing, marching as imperial soldiers or officers. So that's what they're doing. But then it says halt. But then Clem, Cassian, Says that Skeen they should switch sides, should Tamarin and Skeen, because Skeen's left-handed. And you should always have your weapon on the outside of a troop, or whatever they call it. I don't know. This is Vel and Sinter watching in the background. So they say, no, who's saying you should give orders? And he says, well, it's just his experience and stuff. So she asks, what am I? He says, well, he's right-handed, they're right-handed. And he says, Nemik, is it Nemik? I can never remember the name. Yeah, Nemik. He's right-handed, or is he left-handed, but shoots right, or favours right, or something like that. A bit like me. I'm like that. I'm right-handed, but I eat the left-handed way. I hold my knife and fork in the wrong hand. Because I'm a weirdo, that's why. Anyway, so that's that. And this is when the TIE fighter comes in the distance. They think it's going to... Well, it does fly over them in a moment. So they've got to cover everything up in a minute. Here we go to where they've seen it, look. I think so there. Right. Something's coming. I'm sure she's got force powers. They seem to suggest that she's a healer and all that, and she seems to sense things a bit earlier than everybody else. So I'm guessing she might be force sensitive. But we'll see. That's just a guess. Here we go. There it goes. It flies over. Look. And it's really good sound effects, by the way. The TIE fighter, it roars over. And we see it again in a minute. Over the dam. And it's a really good sound effect. I bet it sound amazing in the cinema. Or if you've got a good sound system. There we go. So there it goes off into the distance. But, as far as it knows and the pilot knows, they're just goat herders going about their daily business. Right. There we go. Oh, see, I've gone too far now. You see, look. Go back a little bit further. Come on, just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. That's the TIE fighter comes roaring over the water. And there it goes. Whee. This is Lieutenant Gorn. He's on his rounds still on the dam. And he comes across this officer. I think he's a corporal, I think he says. And he's come out. He says it gets a bit foisty, I think the word is. He don't say that, but it gets a bit ripe in there. So he's come out for some fresh air. So he don't tell him off for it. But they have a little chat about the eye. Remember, a celestial event's going to happen, which is going to be their cover. It's like a meteor shower, but different. It's going to be the rebels' cover for stealing the payroll, and they're talking about that, and how they're going to watch it, and it's going to be cool and all that. So he says, right. He says, well, I'll be doing a check tomorrow. I expect you to be at your post. So, so he leaves it at that. This is Tamarin and Vel, I think, and they're getting something out. I think it might be the uniforms. They might be getting the uniforms out that they had hidden. She's asking him about his arm. He says, it's fine, you're a healer. It makes me think, is she force sensitive? I think we'd seen him putting his, remember his, that crystal. We all assume it's a kyber crystal. He might have told him it's a kyber crystal, I can't remember. That Luthen gave him last episode. We see him putting that on, and there we go, that's him putting it on, looking, stashing it away. But I think Skeen's seen it, or he must have seen it before, and... but that's not yet. So he's doing that. So he's hiding that. And then we cut to, this is Daedra. Is it Daedra? Daedra Miro. Back on Coruscant, she's in her office with this young officer that's under her. And she knows that there's a rebel alliance being formed. And he knows that she knows. He's helping her. But they can't they can't get their superiors to believe them, apparently. And, she's saying all the things are going missing all over under her jurisdiction. And it's like, seems random. But this chap here says, it's too random. He says, yeah, what I'd do if I were forming a rebellion, I'd be stealing, from all different places. And she says the phrase, I'd never climb the same fence twice, which, makes sense. So she knows something's up, because she's stunning and brave. But, the men over her, won't accept there's a rebellion forming because the Empire is all powerful. But I still think she's going to turn good by the end. Maybe not the end of this season, but I still think she's gonna end up being a goodie. Like the Inquisitor in Obi-Wan. They can't help themselves. But you never know. You never know. It's Tony Gilroy. You never know. By the way, it's Tony Gilroy producing. Dan Gilroy doing some of the writing. And there's a John Gilroy as well in the producers list. So is it a family affair? Anyway, right, so the burning, this is the model that they had on Aldani. This is the model that they were using for their plans. They're burning that. Get rid of all the evidence because they're heading out now. Having a little drinky. So I think first light, the head out. There you go. Off they go. In the Scottish Highlands, I do believe it is. Or I could be wrong. Right, we're back at Cyril's. She says she's been in touch with Uncle whatever he's called, and he's gonna see what he can do, basically. And that's it. Pointless. Talk about a slow burn, but I suppose we're getting there. Right, back on Aldani. Don't know what they're talking about, can't remember. All right, we're at the this is the quarterly payroll being loaded on this ship. You see the sled there. Doesn't look very practical, does it? If you're going to launch a spaceship, I mean they've got anti-grav and stuff, haven't they? What they're doing with this? A big rail, like a monorail, basically. Don't make a lot of sense. Anyway, so this is Lieutenant Gorn. He's telling all his chaps, basically, for the eye, you can have, you don't have to work quite as hard, or, you can take the day off. Where they're on a skeleton crew, while the eye is happening, so they can all go and watch it. So that's setting up, for the heist to happen, because there'll not be as many people on duty. So that's that. But he says that there must be painting something. And he says, I want to see this painted, shortly afterwards. Right, so we're back with these lot. I think this is where Skeen, he gets Cassian, by at knife point and takes the crystal, and he says it's a kyber crystal. He says this is worth 30,000 credits. What's he doing? We're starving, and he's got a thing worth 30,000 credits. So basically, Cassian tells them that he's been paid to join them. So Vel, basically says, we need him. He's going to fly the ship and all that. But Skeen doesn't trust him. But, Cassian comes clean, and so like, I suppose it builds a bit of a bridge, a little bit. But then that's the end of that scene. And that's him telling him, I've been paid. Right, we're back on Coruscant. Oh, pardon me. This is Mon Mothma and Perrin, and they're in their air car, I presume they're heading home after some function, some charity gig that she does. That's about it, really. That's all that happens. And he mentions there that everybody knows what you're up to. So I don't know if they're on about an affair, thinks he's having, or if they know about, she's moving against the Empire. I don't know, but That's that. That's the driver who's a spy. An Imperial spy, keeping an eye on her. We're back on Aldani. And I think, I've gone too far. Look, there we go. They arrive at the dam, and so the set camp for the night. I think the way a signal fire. You think it'd be a bit obvious, but it's to tell Lieutenant Gorn that they're there and they're ready. Right. So back with Cyril Khan. He's still looking at. He's still obsessing over Cassian Andor. So I don't know what his uncle's going to get him, a job doing, but it's obviously going to have some way for him to carry on searching for Cassian Andor because he's become obsessed with him, hasn't he? Anyway. There we go. So this is Lieutenant Gorn with his macro binoculars, and he sees one of the rebels on the hill waving his flame. But you think he wouldn't need them to see a light in the distance in the dark, would he? Well, there's no other people looking, no other officers, but obviously not. Right, Skeen, Vel tells Skeen to basically apologise, not apologise, but tell Cassian about his brother, why he's joined the rebellion, and so he tells him, his brother were killed by the Empire, so he's joined up to avenge him, and he says that's as close to an apology as you'll get. And Cassian says it's close enough, so I suppose they're best mates now. See, we're getting near the end here, look. We're getting near the end. And, they're getting ready to do the job. So it's all going to kick off next episode. But we said that last episode, didn't we? That the job were going to be this episode. And we've just been preparing for it. Anyway, back on Coruscant, this is Luthen Rail. He's listening to, he's got a radio set, and he's listening for something, and his assistant comes in and says, there's going to be, you're not going to hear anything. If you want to be busy, go clean some coins. So they've obviously got a close relationship where they can berate each other. He's her boss, I think, but she can tell him off and stuff. So that's that. What's happening here? What's that? Well, that just that was just in the shop, wasn't it? Oh, that's it. Oh, there we go. That was it. That's the end of the episode. So, yep, that's your lot. So that's not exactly an exciting episode, was it? But it did the job, I suppose. I didn't hate it. But it wasn't exactly exciting, but I did like the TIE fighter, I must admit. The TIE fighter was the best part of the episode. For me, anyway. But as I said before, I said at the beginning, a lot of world building going on. And I did feel like this was a living Star Wars-y type world. We saw that life on Coruscant. I suppose with Cyril's mother and stuff, we saw how life goes on, with normal people. And then we saw life with the hoity-toity Mon Mothma and her family living it up in the clouds. And then we saw the Rebel Alliance, the young Rebel Alliance, living from hand to mouth, roughing it in the wilds, and then about to embark on a daring mission. So hopefully that's going to be next episode. I hope. Have we got an episode title for next week? Let's have a look, see if it says. I don't think it will. Nah, it don't. It just says TBA. So that's next week. But I hope they do the deed next week, because we've been building up to this for now 2 episodes now. So anyway, but yeah, it was an okay episode. Not exactly super exciting. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Slightly above average. If it weren't for the TIE fighter, I'd have given it less, because it was a little bit dull. It is a slow burn, but it's interesting, and I'm enjoying watching it. So that's your lot. Because there's not a lot to say about it, is there, really? yeah, there isn't a lot to say because not a lot happened. We learned that they don't trust Cassian, but we knew that anyway. But I suppose things came to a head, and now they're all best friends because they're all honest with each other. And honesty is the best policy, I suppose. In the rebellion. Anyway, so yeah, we'll leave it there. 6 out of 10. It was okay. I hope it gets better. I hope we get a bit of action next week. So, wherever you are in the Empire, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.